Mana.
I've been.
AutoSave, welcome to our channel.
Today watching Soul Leveling Season 2, Episode 9. Will Essel stay with us?
I sure hope so.
Maybe. How's the joint operation going to go on Jeju Island between Korea and Japan?
I hope that it goes well. I hope that this plan that the Drawn Sword Guild has kind of put forward, they've even run some like tests, they've thought about it really hard. I hope that it goes well and it does not blow up and fail dramatically.
All that I'm sure of is thanks to Jinwoo, the Radisu family is now in charge, in full control.
Yeah, the Radiru family. Full control. Full control.
You ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. Whew.
That's so cool, but also scary. And if you mess up, do the ingredients get like completely ruined?
I'm so nervous. Okay.
Okay. Wait, 6?
Whoa.
That's insane. You get quantity? Yes. Can we ride it? Oh my god. So cool.
Come on.
Let her name it.
A party. Other things on his mind. Shadow exchange. Whoa! One of the soldiers guarding his sister? Oh. I'm gonna miss the cloak.
It will now revert.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I would do that too. All the time if I could.
問題は妨害電波がうまく作用するかですが、
一末の不安もないと言えば嘘になるが、調査結果は正確。こちらの見解とも一致している。それに作戦は電波が作用しなかった際の撤退まで考慮されている。万全の準備をしてハンターたちを送り出すことだけだ。それで孫ハンターと連絡は
まだ取れておりません。ビョング、俺にはさっぱりわからん。せてると老けますよ。大きなお世話だ。S 級ヒーラー、ミン・ビョング。
S rank healer.
使用もせず、若いうちに現役を退いた数。
Wow.
The name sounds familiar.
かつて共に戦った仲間。笑いのセンスも含めておかしな野郎だ。気が利くの。
ユンホさん。本当に行くんですか?
You already got out once.
運足さんが死ぬところを見たのに。
Unsuck. Oh man.
だから行くんだろう。あれをいつまでも好きにさせてると、そのうち国中がああなってしまう。
いつからそんな愛国者になったんですか?
行くしかないなら、それっぽいこと言っといた方が格好がつく。
To have his help though would be
massive.
同じようなこと言ってましたね。あの人も。俺は行きません。絶対に。説得しに来たのなら諦めてくれ。
挨拶に来ただけだ。もう会えないかもしれないからな。
公務員試験を受けるんです。
公務員試験？
もうダメなんですよ。血とかそういうの。
Okay, that's fair.
だから公務員になるんです。自信ないからやばいですけどね。
歴史が得意だったのか。
俺って時代劇とか好きじゃない。
So interesting.
これが普通ですよ。
普通じゃないのはハンターの方だ。考えてみれば嫌うハンターはあまり見たことがないかもしれない。それを好む者さえ。それが覚醒の条件。
Oh my god. It's gotta work. Oh.
俺のせいでやけどしたのに。
That's what it's from.
飲み込めないかもしれない。何が起こるかわからない。だけど何度もシステムが起こした奇跡を見てきた。E級だった俺がここまで来れたのも信じてみよう。
Burn.
お願いだ。目を覚ましてくれ。強くなろうと戦ったたった一つの理由なんだ。早く起きてくれ。母さん。
今日は集中できない。なんでだろう。風が暖かい。ジヌなのね。どれくらい眠ってた？
4年。
ジナは
元気にしてる。
ありがとう。ジヌ、約束守ってくれたのね。大人の顔になったわ。きっとたくさん無理もさせてしまったのね。だったでしょう。
大丈
ありがとう。ジヌ。
この患者が目覚めた。はい、信じられませんが、身体機能にも何ら問題はなく、本人も家族もすぐの退院を希望されていまして。
What do you do?
The hope it's gonna give people.
ジナ、すっかりお姉さん。
ようやく努力が実を結んだ。やっと真の報酬を手に入れたんだ。
本日はお集まりいただきありがとうございます。すでにご承知の通り、現在各地でジェジュ島から
Major
飛来
newsworthy
した
stuff happening right now.
今回の作戦では、国内の S 級ハンターだけではなく、日本協力のもと、さらに10名を追加
Big
で
announcement.
前線に投入。また A 級以下のハンターたちも会場の守備、本土の警備にあたり、
Wow, everyone's watching.
サポートするとともに、
Wow, he's watching too.
戦えない人たちは俺たちの何百倍も恐ろしいよ。
Wow.
終わらせよ。それは力を持った俺たちにしかできない。この国をアリの巣にするわけにはいかないだろ。いざという時この人を支えられるのは
You and I are the only ones able to help him. Are you gonna change your mind?
Why is he at a playground? Do you think he has kids? Oh God.
おい、お前は目を離すとすぐに。
さて、4年ぶりの家事は
No, 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 no. Mom!
You just got
Mom.
home.
Good, okay, help her out.
そりゃ私が生まれた頃から住んでるんだもん。そうね。
New place?
俺がずっと望んできたもの。だけど不安がつきまとう。足を踏み入れてはいけない領域まで来てしまったのだ。
Almost feeling distant from them because of it. Like a
何？
barrier.
お父さんから何か連絡はなかっ
Go
た？
on.
ハンターになったのね。お父さん、ハンターになる前は
Firefighter before becoming a hunter.
人のために頑張る姿がかっこよくて結婚したの。あなたはその血をしっかり受け継いだのね。
Have you inherited that part of him?
私だって医者になって人のために頑張るよ。そうね。ジナもしっかり受け継いでる。わーいって。
We think favorably of him.
Finally got him on the line.
お疲れ様でした。
それにしても会見直後に訪ねてくるとは。
トーマス・アンドル、アメリカ所属の国家権力級 S 級ハンター。自分は淡い期待をしてしまいました。
このタイミングだ、無理もない。だが、
Whoa!
軍事力と同等の力を持つと認められた者がそうそう他国に介入することはあるまい。本人の言う通り、単に旅行の途中に立ち寄っただけか。出発は4日後。今回のレイドは我々の悲願です。力を貸していただけませんか。
レベルアップにはもってこいの機会だ。逃すのは惜しい。
Think about what your mom
今ま
just
でなら
said.
そう考えていた。
Now you have more time.
俺は
さすがです。この距離で感じ取るとは。今体育館で S 級ハンターたちが
Oh.
Do you want to go watch?
興味があるようでしたらご覧に。
Yes!
レクシアン、まだ若いんだからもう少し足を使った方がいいんじゃないか。今はただの会社員ですよ。マシハン。
あの道着を着た人は明星ギルドのマドンウさんです。
Fame
Fame
Guild.
Guild.
人前では全力を出すことができないんですよ。全力の戦いをするとき、彼は怪物と化すんです。
The comment about his powers at the bar.
Mm.
あちらにいる方々は騎士団ギルドのおや、お見えになりましたか。
Whoa!
Oh, the guy with the hood.
そして
Oh, the guy with the mask. And Goto's so cool.
やり手の暗殺者のようだね。
いえ、あの人は
Ah, can't he be both?
俺がこの国のトップだなんてちょっとがっかりですね。
このお方は騎士団ギルドのギルドマスターパク・ジョンスさんや。マスターは S 級やなくて A 級やから聞いたことないかもしらんけど、それともうちは国内の5大ギルドの一つや。
余計な波風は立てない方がいいですよ。
せっかくなので親善試合をします。S 級ハンターだけで。
Are you fucking kidding
蚊帳
me?
の外なんかい。詳細はそちらで決めていただい
Yes,
て
you have to sit out.
Tournament arc?
手首を掴まれる、背中をタッチされる、または体を床に
Please let us see it. Please let us see it.
1対1ではなく一度に
Free for all?
What?
現地ではほぼ確実に乱戦に
I
なること
mean,
が予想され
okay.
ますから。
It's like training.
こちらからはチャ、イム、マ、ベクハンターの4人。
こちら
I
は
want to
川
see Lim fight.
熊本、星野、田中ハンターの4人です。
では親善試合を始めましょう。
I kind of wanted to see Jinwoo fight,
Oh, what a wild episode.
right?
The show is so crazy because, like, we're having an emotional roller coaster at the same time that we're being introduced to all of Japan's hunters. At the same time, we're learning about an American hunter that isn't even going to be involved, named
Yeah.
Thomas Andre.
So many new characters. It's episode 9 that we just
Yeah.
watched. Everything from the OP, we've basically seen most of it. I think we're about to possibly get some new favorite characters.
Yeah? Okay, that was Solo Leveling Season 2, Episode 9. I didn't even think that the S-rank hunters between the two countries were even going to meet. I thought that the whole plan was going to happen, and they were going to be in their own places, and there wasn't going to be much coordination other than the leaders themselves.
Yeah.
But I am blessed beyond the moon at the moment. This was so cool, and I'm so excited to see them fight.
I definitely thought we would be getting to, before this episode started especially, get to Jeju Island way sooner. But obviously what we're introducing now in the story, I almost much rather. I want to get to know these other S ranks that are going to be fighting, especially if, unfortunately, things could possibly go wrong. You want there to be, especially for the viewer, some tension, some stakes in the air. It is going to have a lot more feelings created in the viewer if they've possibly met or watched certain hunters fight before Jeju Island.
Yeah.
So to introduce us to all of the characters that are going to be a part of this mission, when we already have the gravity at which this mission means, especially to some of the characters and to the world, to be introduced to the characters that will be fighting so that we can definitely feel for them and root for them and cry for them if things don't go completely to plan. I am very happy about this development.
I'm happy and a little bit nervous. Like, narratively, what are you doing by giving us a 4v4 now? You know, we already had a little bit of, like, concern, potentially. Like, we have trust, we have faith, everything. We have a plan, right, going into this. But there's still a little bit of room for discomfort in terms of the plan and feeling like it's going to succeed and we're going to have an exit route. Do you think that if we get completely massacred by Japan's S ranks, what does that do for our, confidence? If it's an even fight, what does it do? If we massacre them, what does it do? I'm wondering what the fallout of feelings will be going into the Jeju Island plan based off of what we see.
Right. So obviously the analysis, everyone looked at it. It seemed great of this plan that Japan put forward, the Drawn Sword Guild. But when we have them walking in and kind of immediately assessing that it doesn't seem like at least the people in the room are impressive enough to them, if something for this 4v4 doesn't go completely right and Japan's guild, the Drawn Sword Guild, starts to maybe doubt that
they could get the job done on their end and actually kill the queen.
Right, because both teams need to do their job for this plan to work. And what happens when one half of this kind of plan and army thinks the other half isn't up to it? What happens then?
It's a good question. I am glad that at least there is going to be sparring because, like, coming into the situation when Baek is sparring with Ma, like, we get the idea that he can't really fully unleash in the way that he would perhaps on Jeju Island. So hopefully they will have underestimated Baek going into the next episode or when we get to see the fight.
Do you think that he would unleash more because this is somewhat of a test of strength and not like friendly sparring? Like, yes, this is sparring, but it's not as friendly as him sparring Ma, who he probably already has an established relationship with, who knows he's probably not going all out.
I don't know.
Like, this is more of a show of strength. Like, you can trust us, don't underestimate us. So, but also there's other people, and
what's Jin Woo's reaction going to be to all of this? Is he going to be significantly impressed by a single person or by a group? Is he going to compare himself to one of them or to their rank? Like, I'm so fascinated to see what his observation and like commentary of this fight will be like.
Like, S rank is just kind of like everyone above this number. I like the idea of Jinwoo possibly getting really intrigued by or impressed by someone that he sees fight and or someone he notices on the sidelines that isn't fighting. Like, what if he's really impressed by energy he can see and feel from Goto, the guild master for the Drawn Sword Guild. We even have Hanakawa be like, I've seen you fight so many times that these S ranks aren't impressive to me sparring in front of me. So what if, Jinwoo's reacting to either the people that are sparring or he's able to sense that there's someone stronger even within the room and he wants to test his strength against them.
For a second, I was like, is the magic wavelength that we're feeling actually Baek, or is that what we think it is, or is it S-rank hunter from Japan, or is it Ilwan showing up for some reason, like back at home
I
while
thought
we're
it
not
was
there?
Thomas Andre.
Yeah, Thomas Andre is a fucking lunatic, and it's crazy that we're watching a show that we're being introduced to all these new people, and we're going to be able to see them act, where at the same time, we're like, Thomas Andre is such a living force that if he acts by himself just because he's in a room, he's almost acting for an entire nation.
Yeah.
Like, because of just the sheer strength of being able to defeat armies.
He's just in the neighborhood. Yeah, right. Okay. That's just a big question mark. I think that's one of the main question marks coming out of this episode is to just ask, like, obviously we don't have an answer, but it's something to start thinking about because we're going to probably get an answer somewhat in the future of why is he here? Because I don't think it's safe to believe he's just here on a vacation. I feel like he's here to see how this plays out. He's here because he senses someone incredibly strong has become a hunter like Jinwoo, or he somehow knows Ilhwan and knows Ilhwan's coming back here because he heard the news, about some mysterious man beating some S rank up.
I have a question
He's here
for
for
you.
a reason. Yes.
So within Miss Cha and the idea of like her sense of smell and it correlating with the strength of other hunters, do you think that like accumulates? Do you think that if there is a massive gymnasium full of S rank hunters as opposed to just one in there, is the smell 10 times as bad? And if that is the case, is Jinwoo walking in like bringing an air freshener to like a landfill?
Oh, she might fight better if he's here. Maybe she just needs him to kind of stand on the sidelines to help as like use it. It's not going to fix everything, but you could say it's maybe somewhat like an air freshener. It's like kind of misting little sweet breezes into the air that can hopefully help her fight and not feel like she has to hold a handkerchief up to her nose. Actually, like that's something I want to see is like how's she going to fight because we're doing like combatants, like we're doing like hand-to-hand combat. We're not letting the mages be involved. She has to be up close and personal fighting these people. And yet the smell is something that is almost like maybe even debilitating for her, where she has to hold a handkerchief to be comfortable.
I don't think she'll have to do anything like that. I think like just for like the casualness of like being in a room, she's going to be covering her nose, but during a fight, like lock the fuck in.
Oh, but
type
like
shit.
Locked in, it doesn't phase her anymore, but like more in the downtime,
you're gonna do your best to ignore
it.
You have to, be capable. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I hope to see everyone impress Japan's guild that came here with the S ranks, because I don't want them to be underestimated. I think it was really funny to have that idea of like, they probably don't understand what I'm saying right now because they don't speak Japanese, so I'm gonna kind of like say things about them in our language, and then someone else kind of understanding what you were saying and being like, hey, don't talk about us like that. That was a little fun moment, but also like, don't underestimate them.
We don't get the names like with arrows pointing to each character of the other four, Tawata, Kumamoto, Hoshino, and Tanaka, but do you have one that you're most excited to see in action?
Out of these four?
Out of these four. The girl with the purple shirt and the hat is extraordinary, and I want to see what she can do. So
my favorites from them all walking in, like my favorite one that my eyes immediately went to is
Hood.
Not a part of this four. It was the one with the hood. So I would say out of these four, I think, come on, you have a mask and an eye patch. Automatically picking you.
Yeah?
Automatically, yes.
All right.
Even just the mask, I would have said yes. Even just the eye patch, I would have picked this character that I'm most interested in.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll have any unique abilities. Like, one of the emphasis that we're putting on within this specific battle is, like, we're not including mages here. This is up close, this is personal, and it kind of made me think, like, oh, man, like, if Jinwoo spoke up about if he could participate, maybe there would be some clarification on Japan's end of understanding what class he's in.
We're gonna all take each other. Okay, how about you all take Jinwoo and his army? How about that? That's chaotic. I like that.
It's so fascinating that there's conjecture and like the not understanding, because why would there be around the classification that Jinwoo is in? And I'm gonna take that and pivot the conversation point a little bit. All right. So I definitely want to talk about everything we get with Jinwoo's mom, but the idea of Jinwoo's mom being awakened by the elixir of life.
Yes.
Her awaking from eternal sleep. And that coinciding with, especially from the hunter's knowledge, somebody having something that's like a second awakening, but not necessarily a second awakening, and something that we've never seen before. Like, are sirens going to start, going off? Are alarms going to start, going off once this Jeju Island mission is over? Like, that there is a connection there. There's something to this family. There might be something to Jinwoo that's even more fascinating.
Interesting. Okay, well, because of Jinwoo being a hunter and getting stronger and fighting alongside people who might be able to recognize that he's leveling up or things are expanding to a level they didn't even perceive he could originally be at, that yes, that more suspicions could rise. If it was just the fact that his mom woke up, I feel like there wouldn't be suspicion for at least at first. It would be something years down the line, months down the line, when no one else wakes up and they still have yet to find the reason that his mom woke up. Then there would start to be like, okay, but the why, and we still have yet to find it yet, and then there would be issue. But we have the possibility that a bunch of people will be really close to him if he does go to Jeju Island, which I assume for the sake of the story he is definitely going to go. They're going to see him, and they're going to see how strong he is, and they're possibly even going to see him be able to be capable of things that he hadn't been before and now is. Potions out of the air, buying in a store, I don't know, lots of things he could be capable of that they're going to be seeing, possibly.
In terms of, like, going or not, we get the idea of, like, oh, this would be a great opportunity to be leveling up. Like, that's what I would have said. Yeah. The idea that the circumstances and the environment that Jinwoo is now in are different. And the goal that he has been pushing for this entire time has been achieved. And I wonder how that's going to play out, because I'd agree with you that I think that he's going to go to Jeju Island, but I wonder if that will come from his own decision internally, if it would come from conversations with his mom. We have the idea of his dad being a firefighter and the idea of him being a hunter and that being inherited by Jinwoo. Does that, come with principles? Perhaps principles that we're talking about in other areas of this episode with Min Byung-gu and their friend, Unsuk?
Unsuk?
Yeah, and like that ideal of, well, we might be scared, but think about everybody else who can't fight. Exactly.
Yes. So I can grab onto two things that might force Jinwoo to decide to obviously fight in Jeju, other than leveling up, other than continuing to get stronger. More of the emotional side of things, more of the actual reasons that should be driving this character and that had been driving this character initially, like trying to get the elixir of life for his mom, for what he is seeing in this episode. He had been dreaming of what he gets to see in this episode, and he gets to see it. So those two things are, as mom is talking about his father, it's this man that was in a line of work already before becoming a hunter.
Firefighters are so
that was
cool.
To be there for others, to support others, save their lives, protect their houses, be there for them in their times of need, and be a strength for them. And that is what she hopes that her children have inherited from their father, that they want to help other people. That is an emotional reason for Jinwoo to decide to move forward with Jeju Island, because the ants also, if they get past these kind of barriers and what the S ranks put up a fight against them, if they get past that, the people that they could kill, the carnage that could be in their wake, it's gonna be massive. And your loved ones inevitably could be one of the kind of sacrifices to this.
In terms of them being kept safe too, like it's much easier to keep them safe away at their home turf rather than them coming to you. Yes. The second emotional thing or reason why he would choose to say yes is he is realizing in this moment, as he's viewing this happy scene that he's been wanting to view, his mom is back home in their apartment, hanging out, sister is there, we're all there. Oh. And he is realizing what he has done in becoming a hunter, but becoming a player, that he has taken human lives. Things have happened to him and his kind of journey as a player, and not only as that, but then to get the elixir of life. And there is this kind of distance that has now grown between, he's seeing this life that he wanted, but can he even be a part of it anymore? Or has he already started walking down a path that now he has to continue walking down? That's a great question. I've ended up crossing a line that I don't think there's any coming back from. Look, for the character, like in terms of like emotionally, I'm like, damn, yeah, you're right. You have been through some shit. But like for the story, I'm like, I'm so glad this is happening. I'm so glad that this is how Jinwoo is feeling. And it's like, it makes so much sense. And I'm glad that it's being brought up again because of all the trauma that he has experienced, all the shit that he actually has been through to get to this point. It's not forgotten about. It's not like a scar that you're taking like a mark, like an eraser to and then erasing it. No, it's on you. It's a part of you now. And it's a part of you going forward. And I love that is included and still here.
It's fun to have characters have moments of awareness like this, where you're chasing down this goal and you've been spending episodes and episodes and episodes since you got that key and since you found out what the reward would be if you got to the end of that kind of like demon's castle, what you would obtain, the elixir of life, and you're so focused on that goal and you know what it would be, the reward is your mom's awake, but you don't think yet until you're in this position of seeing it in front of you that you didn't imagine what your place was in that story and scenario after she does wake up, and the relationship you can have with her, what happens after that. That's not where your mind is going when you're thinking about saving your mom's life and having her wake up from the eternal sleep disease. That is not what's on your mind. Is
you kind of have
what happens
blinders
after that.
on to everything else because you are looking at one goal and everything that can help you reach it.
You can't blame him for not thinking about some of these things until now. And for them to even have sparked so immediately upon mom waking up should even be impressive to your awareness of your situation. And the fact that seeing them so happy and so pure and so innocent, and the idea of wanting to help people, and they've never killed anyone, they've never hurt anyone, they don't deserve any harm that comes to them.
The sister wants to be a doctor, you know?
And you're someone who's definitely gotten their hands dirty sitting in the same room as them.
I thought that the moment his mom woke up was beautiful. Like the soundtrack, the score was phenomenal. I loved Jinwoo's reaction. It was like he was able to let go for the first time in 4 years, and he was immediately rewarded by it, not just by his mom waking up, but his mom saying thank you. After asking how long it was been, after asking about Jinnah, it was the next thing that she said was thank you for keeping your promise, and that's what he did. Like it's and majority of the time it wasn't like this. That's the thing. He was like Jinwoo is fucking... he deserved to let go. That's what I'm trying to say. He deserved to be where he was in that moment, and it broke me. I thought it was beautifully done.
We know that before he became a player, he was trying his hardest to make as much money as possible for his mom and for his sister.
The system wasn't always there to have faith in.
Right. I loved seeing him kind of break down and cry in that way that really evokes like when you're truly able to be vulnerable around someone, like say you're in front of your mom and you almost would revert back to like a child who feels safe with his mom. If your mom reacted to getting hurt by hugging you after you accidentally hurt her, and she hugs you after it and comforts you as you're crying, gold star mom in that moment. Of course he felt safe to be vulnerable in front of her. That's all we needed to see about her in terms of any sort of flashback of the past to get even an ounce of understanding of why he's able to cry in front of her in this way and be so blissfully happy upon having helped her and her wake up and say thank you. She is obviously being painted to us as an incredibly loving and understanding mom that has, when she was awake, been a rock for them and been a support for them. And to see him cry like that, it made me feel like I was seeing the Jinwoo from season 1, the very beginning of it again. That's what it made me think of, just the vulnerability I was seeing in his face. We normally now see his face so like cool, you know, and it was really cool to see emotions that were different than what we have been getting from him for most of the story.
I completely agree.
Sorry?
No, go on.
I was going to say I was a little bit worried at first when he was thinking about giving her the elixir of life, because they showed us a shot where he's like holding her up and you see the door, and I was like, oh my god, what if someone walks in and is like, you're giving something to the patient and like stops him? Obviously he has a quantity of 6, which we might talk about a little bit more.
That's where I was trying to go into. The idea that firstly, I was worried about it a little bit ago about what you do if she wakes up here, right? Because is she going to be tested? Is she going to be examined and stuck in the hospital for years regardless of her condition, just because they want to figure out what was special about her so that they can wake everybody else up? Jinwoo getting her the fuck out of there and into their home as soon as possible was so fucking cool and such the right decision to make. And then in what we're talking about with the elixir of life. Intellect has so much
Crafting.
Yeah, intellect has so much importance in terms of if it can be crafted, the quality of it, and the quantity. The fucking quantity? Are you kidding me? I had no idea we were getting more than one.
The power you've given, you already gave him the power to cure an illness.
Not
like
quality, success and quantity.
You've already given him something, an incredible power to be able to awake someone from the eternal sleep disease. But now you have, obviously you don't have to use all 6 for the same disease. This is, it could be used for different things, but you have 6 of them. The power that you are now holding, it's not just about your mom. It's like, how do you weigh when to use it again and who to use it on?
Man, I keep them in a locked chest in my attic in case that my mom ever gets it again.
Just like, for your family. But like, think about the place you'd be in, just like mentally and emotionally. Like, I'm thinking about like, go forward in the story.
Yeah.
And you're in a debate with yourself internally. You
Jinho,
can save
his
this.
dad.
You can save this person. You care about someone either adjacent of them, or you care about the person themselves that could be saved, and you have to rack your brain on if you're gonna do something for them or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you choose not to, then possibly dealing with the regret and having to be a support for the person the people that are left behind when you could have done something. He's already crossed a line in so many ways,
Do you think the system would ever ask him for something? Like, the idea of him the word choice is great. Like, him choosing to have faith in the system, in terms of using the elixir of life, in terms of it working. And like, the second that we successfully craft it, in my heart, I know it's gonna work for some reason. And having faith in the system, if the system gave you an opportunity to get your mother back, if the system ever at one point asked you to do something for it, how compelled, if at all, would you feel to do something for it?
Do you think that there would be any asks about Jeju Island? Would there be any,
seems like small potatoes. It seems like small potatoes. Like, I don't know. Like, the trajectory that Jinwoo is on feels much more grandiose than at the moment Jeju Island feels. And I can't explain why.
Which is crazy to think about because of how important this is to so many of the characters we've already met in terms of their pasts as hunters, people that they love, that fought with them, that were lost to Jeju Island. The fact that people are currently dying because the ants, are coming. To think about it as like, yes, it's so severe, but the scaling, you're right, there is something a little bit warped about the scaling. Like, we know that this is a huge deal.
It's great because it can go in any direction then, because it can completely just pivot into Jeju. It can pivot anywhere at once. It's so unpredictable.
Jeju is a huge deal, but it's not a catastrophe. And it's not a war that the demons were fighting in. Obviously, yet being something to say. But you're right, like, it sounds huge and scary, and it's especially emotionally important to a lot of the characters. But there is other things that could be coming that are going to maybe overshadow that in terms of severity.
Do you think Byung-goo's gonna go? He was sitting outside of a playground. I'm like, oh no, please don't have a family and then go. I would be so worried. But like, he is an S-rank healer who doesn't have injuries. Like, that's how lucky he is. I wanted to talk a couple things about him, but do you think that he will end up going? Because that, what Eun-suk had like said, and those words stuck with him. And not only that, he saw how his life and his way of life after he died, assumingly, on Jeju Island, how that was almost picked up in a way in a different means of character from Baek. It was substantial to him.
I think that mainly for Baek, he will choose to go because there was a line about having to be there for him, I believe said by Eun-suk. And so I think that for those that are still alive, for some characters, this is going to be, they're going to be doing it for characters that lost their lives. And for other characters, they're going to be doing it for characters that are still alive. And I think that is great to have kind of differences in reasons that people feel strongly about why they choose to fight. But the idea of a healer, like having an S rank healer, obviously would be incredibly helpful. And you think about what other healer have we gotten so much attention on in this story is Johi. And the amount of like turmoil that Johi was put through from being the healer. Like,
that's something you don't think about. Like the sight of blood. Thinking about seeing more blood. That's...
Not only are you seeing people you care about and love get hurt, probably on the daily with this job, and maybe even gravely a lot of the time, but it's on you and your responsibility, and it's on you. It's as if you're the doctor on the surgery table.
So no, what I'm saying,
trying to save their life.
My family is within medicine, right? And in trying, my dad wanted me to be a doctor so bad, and I was considering it for a while, but the only way I was considering it is if I could be a radiologist, because I just wanted to sit in the basement in the dark and not have to look at people or blood. Because who's going to see more death? The people trying to prevent it. The people on the front lines trying to prevent an already dying person. And that is fucking traumatic. Like, and you brought up in the episode an interesting point. What would all these hunters do if they weren't hunters? Because all of them are unique people. You know, we get Byung-yu loves history. He is super fascinated with it, and that's
what
great.
made me think about it, is like he's chosen to take a step back from being a hunter. What line of work would he go into? And what line of work would any of these people go into? What lives would they be leading right now? But in this same conversation with Byung-yu, we have Bake asking again really great questions. We have him, he's a real thinker, especially in the last couple episodes. I'm really loving the kind of trains of thought that he's going down. But he starts to bring up the idea of like, what are the requirements to becoming a hunter? And so many hunters he knows enjoy the combat.
Oh yeah, what I just brought up on the screen. Combat becomes part of their routine. Some of them even enjoy it. Maybe that trait is one of the requirements for an awakening.
Right, so what would those people, and some of the people we've been introduced to in this story that are hunters, they love combat with not just monsters, but they also really just like the kill in general, and it even being people. So would they have become serial killers without being hunters? It's quite possible to me, at least in this moment.
Shadow Exchange is so fucking cool. We got the rune, we crushed it. It has a 3-hour recharge time, but the idea of swapping places with another member of the army is so fucking cool.
It's gonna be cool in battle.
It's gonna be so Jesus Christ, in battle. But like him, Jinwoo immediately being like, oh, sick, I can get back quick, fast travel, bet. And just leaving Essel there was great.
I believe there was a shot of like, once he got out of the dungeon, it was like, it will reset. Does that mean that no one actually died? Like, if it's gonna reset, does that just mean the buildings are gonna be put back together? Does that mean the slaughtered demons and the demon knights and everyone that you had fought are going to magically pop back in like in a game, and you walk back in and they'd be there again?
I wonder if it's everybody who isn't from another realm, you know, in terms of Essel. Like, I don't think she would reset.
So are you saying that only some of the demons that were there were from the demon realm?
Maybe.
I think that it's anyone that you didn't take for yourself. So I feel like in my mind right now, the dragon, Kaisel, is the only one that won't be resetting because you took his soul.
So do you think Essel will be reset?
I don't know well, she didn't die.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I think reset, like, everyone that was slaughtered would magically pop back into their houses and be
fair.
Oh, I'm here and I have a duty to be here and protect this area.
I'd been meaning to bring this up for like episodes now and always forget to. And like, you know, the voice acting behind Essel and the characters when Jinwoo were fighting them when they're not on Earth, that there's this like reverb to them, like doubling of the voice. That almost comes across as like a collar or like a chain around a neck to me. Like, it comes off like, yeah, you're talking right now, but I'm letting you talk. Like, I could stop it at any time. I can stop what you're, you know what I mean? That it goes into that control.
There is like a game element, a virtual reality element. There's a bit of like a control, like you're saying. I can definitely see that. The idea of the reset, though, my last comment on it is, why reset a dungeon that you have completed and gotten the reward from, unless you want to have it so that someone else can go through it and get the same reward? if
Yeah.
they are able to complete it. Why reset it unless there's the idea that there are other players out there that might be given a key as well to be able to try to do this themselves and get possibly the elixir of life themselves.
One of my last things is, dude, Iron. I get it. You're trying to make up for Kim Chol, but you don't have to be such a suck up, man. Like, you're your own person. Bringing Jinwoo the Dragon Head, you're sweet. You're a sweetie pie, but Kim Chol's just, he's left a mark, and he's trying to make up for it. He's trying his best.
He's trying
but
his best. I mean, Kaisel is going to be a really cool addition.
a
I
cool
would
name.
love flying around the city on a dragon like that. Everyone could look up and be like, "Oh, hey, what's up? Is that a bird? Is that a plane? You know? No, that's just Jinwoo on his dragon." Don't think about it too much. Don't
Yep.
think about it too hard. It's okay. So my last thing is that I'm just excited to see going forward what seems like to be favorable feelings about Il-hwan across the whole family and how they kind of feel about him. It seems like they're favorable. And so what I was worried about was like maybe a super contentious reunion, some words being said, some feelings like, we hate you, where did you go?
When is he gonna come back? Like, the idea, it's like stepping on a landmine. I don't know. He came into the series out of nowhere, and then he left, and I feel like I could see him next episode, or I feel like I could see him 2 seasons from now.
You have a really good point there about his first introduction to the story being incredibly random. Like, he just popped in and we were like, whoa, who is this? Oh my god, what is Jinwoo's dad? So the idea that he could just, his next actual introduction into the story, where he even maybe is introduced again to his family, interacts with them again, could be incredibly random. But I would like to think that Jeju Island would be like this beacon calling him, that he could somehow see the news about his son and the news about Jeju Island, and he could be like, I'm going to Jeju
He
Island.
potentially already saw the news about his son, right? The S-rank hunter thing, but I'm thinking arson. You light your house on fire if you're Jinwoo, and there's a chance that a firefighter comes, and within that chance is a very, very small chance that Il-hwan shows up. It's in his blood.
Probability.
Yeah.
There's a chance.
The odds aren't great, but they're there.
We've been in that apartment for a really, really long time. Maybe
He knows where it is.
He knows where it is. Maybe that's why we never left.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But maybe eventually we'll be in for an upgrade, because of wanting to call him back with arson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. We hope to see you next time.